Acts 10. I read from the Institute for Scripture Research, the ISR, because it takes a direct translation from Hebrew to English, Greek to English, and Aramaic to English. Yah is the Elohim of the heavens and the earth, the first and the last and the only, and he's an extremely jealous El. He's so jealous that he doesn't even want the names of idols or mighty ones to come to our lips. And Yah is short for Yahweh, Yahweh, Yod-Heh, Vav-Heh. It's like saying Dan, Daniel, Daniel with an E. What is the difference and does matters when people say that Phil, Bob, Sam, and Aaron are the same name when no they're not, and no one in their right mind would ever believe that. And only a fool would believe that a hammer could force its creator to do anything. And there was no letter J in the Hebrew, Greek, or Aramaic text because the letter J is about 600 years old, while the son of Elohim, Yehoshua, died on a stake for the sins of all of humanity over 2,000 years ago. And a direct translation from Hebrew to English, Yehoshua is Joshua, and I strongly believe that the son of Elohim's name, Yehoshua, means Yahweh is salvation. 10. Now there was a certain man in Caesarea called Cornelius, Cornelius, a captain of what was called the Italian regiment, dedicated and fearing Elohim with all his household, doing many kind deeds to the people and praying to Elohim always. He clearly saw in a vision about the 9th hour of the day a messenger of Elohim coming to him and saying to him, Cornelius, and looking intently at him and becoming afraid, he said, What is it, master? And he said to him, Your prayers and your kind deeds have come up for a remembrance before Elohim. And now send men to Yaffo and send for Shimon, who is also called Kepha. He is staying with Shimon, a leather tanner, whose house is by the sea. And when the messenger who spoke to him went away, Cornelius called 2 of his household servants and a dedicated soldier from among those who waited on him continually, and having explained to them all, he sent them to Yaffo. And on the next day that they were on their way and approaching the city, Kepha went up on the housetop to pray about the 6th hour, and he became hungry and wished to eat, but while they were preparing, he fell into a trance, and he saw the heaven opened, and a certain vessel like a great sheet bound at the 4 corners descending to him and let down to the earth, in which were all kinds of 4-footed beasts of the earth, and wild beasts, and creeping creatures, and the birds of the heaven. And a voice came to him, Rise up, Kepha, slay and eat. But Kepha said, Not at all, master, because I have never eaten whatever is common or unclean. And a voice came to him again the second time, What Elohim has cleansed you do not consider common. I don't know why he's not going to eat something because it's common. That's weird. The Torah only mentions the unclean. Common is just a man-made tradition. Which is why he said, What Elohim has cleansed you do not consider common. Not unclean, but common. And this took place 3 times, and the vessel was taken back to the heaven. And while Kepha was doubting within himself about what the vision might mean, look, the men who had been sent from Cornelius, having asked for the house of Shimon, stood at the gate, and calling out, they inquired whether Shimon, also known as Kepha, was staying there. And as Kepha was thinking about the vision, the Spirit said to him, See, 3 men seek you. But rise up, go down, and go with them, not doubting at all, for I have sent them. So Kepha went down to the men who had been sent to him from Cornelius, and said, Look, I am the one you seek. Why have you come? And they said, Cornelius the captain, a righteous man, and one who fears Elohim, and well spoken of by the entire nation of the Yehudim, was instructed by a set-apart messenger to send for you to his house and to hear words from you. So inviting them in, he housed them, and on the next day Kepha went away with them, and some brothers from Yaffo went with them, and the following day they entered into Caesarea, and Cornelius was waiting for them, having called together his relatives and close friends. And it came to be that when Kepha entered, Cornelius met him and fell down at his feet and bowed before him. But Kepha raised him up, saying, "Stand up, I myself am also a man." And talking with him, he went in and found many who had come together, and he said to them, "You know that a Yehudi, Yehud, with a line underneath of it, I, man, is not allowed to associate with or go to one of another ethnicity, but Elohim has shown me that I should not call any man common or unclean. That is why I came without hesitation when I was sent for. So I ask, why have you sent for me?" So again, referring back to that clean, unclean, he's again talking about people, not food. It was a parable that he later on understood. It has nothing to do with food, even though it's kind of funny that he doesn't eat things that are common, like carrots are common. I commonly find other fruits and vegetables, but he won't eat them because they're common. What a strange person. But, as you've just recently just heard, if you don't read just a single verse and be like, "Oh, I know what that says," but you read the entire chapter, it changes everything about what you think you just saw. Anyways. But Elohim has shown me that I should not call any man common or unclean. That is why I came without hesitation when I was sent for. So I ask, why have you sent for me? And Cornelius said, 4 days ago I was fasting until this hour, and at the 9th hour I prayed in my house, and see, a man stood before me in shining garments and said, "Cornelius, your prayer has been heard, and your kind deeds were remembered before Elohim. Now send to Yaffo and call Shimon here, who is also called Kepha. He is staying in the house of Shimon, a leather tanner by the sea. When he comes, he shall speak to you." So I sent to you immediately, and you have done well to come. And now we are all present before Elohim to hear all that you have been commanded by Elohim. And opening his mouth, Kepha said, "Truly I see that Elohim shows no partiality, but in every nation he who fears him and works righteousness is accepted by him." He sent the word to the children of Israel, bringing the good news, peace through Yehoshua, Messiah. He is master of all. You know what word came to be throughout all Yehuda, beginning from Galilee after the immersion which Yohanan proclaimed, how Elohim did anoint Yehoshua of Nazareth with the set-apart spirit and with power, who sent about doing good and healing all who were oppressed by the devil, for Elohim was with him. And we are witnesses of all he did, both in the country of the Yehudim and in Jerusalem, whom they even killed by hanging on a timber. Elohim raised up this one on the 3rd day, and let him be seen, not to all the people, but to witnesses those having been chosen before by Elohim, to us who ate and drank with him after he arose from the dead. And he commanded us to proclaim to the people and to witness that it is he who was appointed by Elohim to be judge of the living and the dead. YN 529 Te 30 or Te 9613 Te 98 9 Hazan 11 or 1911, and see also 1731 of Acts. Of course, we're only on 10, so anyways. To this one all the prophets bear witness that through his name everyone believing in him does receive forgiveness of sins. While Kepha was still speaking these words, the set apart Spirit fell upon all those hearing the word, and those of the circumcision who believed were astonished, as many as came with Kepha, because the gift of the set apart Spirit had been poured out on the nations also, for they were hearing them speaking with tongues and extolling Elohim. Extolling is Extolling, Elohim. Then Kepha answered, is anyone able to forbid water that these should not be immersed who have received the set apart Spirit, even as also we? And he commanded them to be immersed in the name of Yehoshua Messiah. Then they asked him to remain a few days. Excuse me. When I first started believing, actually digging into a creator of the heavens and the earth, that's when I became a Christian. And I was immersed in the name of Jesus Christ. Please, y'all, forgive me for those pagan deities and Greek deities coming to my name, coming to my lips. Obviously, it's idol worship. You have to be immersed in the set apart name Yehoshua, and not in some pagan idol. It's like being baptized by the Catholic Church and considering it the same thing. It's not even close. So I guess technically I've never been immersed in the set apart Spirit. I don't think I've met people in person who also believe what I believe. But I mean, you find these pieces here and there who are like, I can't remember the name of this church. I mean, if you only believe that a church is a building, then you're confused as to what it means to be part of the church, part of the emissaries, part of the people, part of his people. Anyways, they believe that you should do whatever the pastor says, but he's not a pastor. He's a rabbi. It's like a Jewish is some of Jewish Israel stuff. It's really weird. It's definitely Babylonian, because they're like, oh, Jesus means Yehoshua, right? So it's all the same. We're never gonna question any of it. Fools. Always question everything. Always. Even if you think you're 100% in the right, always question everything. I was about to get married once, back when I was a Christian. Then I learned the truth. Then I got kicked out of the girl's house that I was going to be marrying, that Juliana. I got kicked out of their house because I told them that I would teach their children the truth. What a shame. Oh well. At least I learned that they were fake, greasy grace style believers. believers in an idol, not believers in YahWeh, believers in the set apart spirit. Believers in Yehoshua, they were believers in idols. And they like to pick apart the Bible however they see fit whatever they want it to say, which is a shame. What a shame.